Hello everyone, this is Hyperion-Blue-GT here. We have ourselves for a brand new update on Gran Turismo 7 is 1.68. The all-time JDM sports car, the fully modified muscle car, and the European crossover SUV has been comes in to have a 3 new car available to be listed on the showcase. We've been waiting for this, viewers. Let's have a look on the update notice. 3 cars available to have 1 at the used car dealership for the 1991 Mazda Infiniti RX-7 Type R FD model, and 2 at Brand Central for the Chevrolet Camaro 1969 race mod and the Renault Captur S Edition TCE 140 2021. Very nice. This is the only kind of a good interesting update, and we have some new events available to have 4 of them on Michelin Raceway, World Atlanta in American Clubman Cup 700, Circuit Gilles Bienvenu to have a best reserve placement to go Group 3 cars in World Touring Car 800, Dragon Trail Gardens Reverse for European Sunny Cup 400, and for the Japanese Clubman Cup 550 to take on in the reverse direction of Kyoto Driving Park Yamagiwa. But plus, a brand new circuit experience is about to take place in Grand Valley South, and that will be the perfect moment to have ourselves to go for a basic on demonstration after the Highway 1 full course layout. New museum entries for Xiaomi has been introduced for Asia Pacific to be placed here on the China Selection brand. Cafe to have some new character conversation. Just only have Jeremy on the Chevrolet Camaro 1969 race mod and Stella for the Mazda Infiniti RX-7 Type R FD 1991 and the Renault Captur S Edition TCE 140 2021. Not to mention, a brand new seasonal menu has been added that allows players to collect different cars each season and unlock additional rewards, but that means just might have to go for a collection requirement to take part on menu book number 39 in Championship of the World GT Series and watching the ending. There's going to be having some new engine swaps available when reaching up on car collector level 50 to have some 10 selection vehicles available, just like the 8-500 2009, followed by the Mercedes AMG C63S Coupe 2015, Chevrolet Chevelle SS 454 Sport Coupe 1970, Daihatsu Copen Active 2002, Dodge Super V 1970, Fiat 500 1.2 8-beat Lounge SS 2008, G-Ready Fugu C, Maserati Gran Turismo S 2008, plus to have the additional as part for the 3 car collection on the update for the Mazda RX-7 Infiniti Type R FD 1991, and last, the Pontiac GTO The Judge 1969. Excellent. Just only have some list of vehicles to have some muscle cars, Japanese road car, and European and of course the Pontiac GTO The Judge 1969. This update brings out to have some mixtures with some Japanese road car, American muscle cars, and European luxury cars has been brought together, but not to mention a brand new curation escapes to have a location available is Abu Dhabi. Second time background featured location to take place at the UAE after Yas Marina Circuit since Spec 3 update. So let's have a look on other improvements and adjustment and have the new features to go on the day logger. On the cars, the Ferrari 296 GT3 2023 that brings out to have a maximum steering angle in the cockpit view has been adjusted to match with the other Group 3 cars, and plus to have some changes including with a balance of performance to be available on time trials when visiting in the world circuits. When a BOP is enabled, vehicles that do not support BOP would no longer appear in the list when selecting a car from the quit menu. Maybe I'll have to take a look by myself and have some other kinds of changes on the power pad to be exclusive available on the PS5 version in Gran Turismo 7. The player's best lap for that session is now displayed as it goes during practice. Retry is now available from the pause menu during the final race. Well, I hope few other Gran Turismo players on the PS5 version should do very much more quite perfectly to have yourself to go for the second chance on reset to have yourself to go back to square one. So that means you still might need to have a chance to go for a full race on the final stage to have yourself to go for a clean racing on the effort. Localization to have some corrected various text localization issues and other issues has been addressed. Now then, let's go to the used car dealership and have a look available. They have a hot price for the 1991 Mazda Infiniti RX-7 Type R FD model. But take a look, guys. The base color is a vintage red. It's the best one ever yet to have a price available to go cost with 80,000 Gran Turismo credits. So you see, its base performance has been stationed to go in 493.78. That has a displacement is 654x2cc. The drivetrain layout is a front wheel drive that has 251 horsepower / 6500 RPM. The max torque is 216.9 foot lb / 5000 RPM, followed by inner length in 168.5 inches, the width in 69.3 inches. As for the height in 48.4 inches, the weight is 2,778 pounds, and the aspiration is turbocharger. See that, viewers? This original kind of an RX-7 is the perfect sports car, has been well designed to go base up on the main line of the Gran Turismo series, except Gran Turismo 3 A-Spec and Gran Turismo Sport. But got to admit, it turns out quite very impressive to have this sports car to be coming as a golden era. But in addition, when using this RX-7, it also brings out to have a customization when visiting to the GT Auto. The exterior parts will have to bring out to have a Mazdaspeed A-Spec version to be serving up as a non-widebody version. But coming out on this one, it will be bringing out to have a good tuning car surprise to have this road-going vehicle. So let's learn more of the detail, and this Infiniti RX-7 Type R is the best all-time JDM sports car to be heading out to the track. The 1990s mark a golden era for Japanese sports cars, and perhaps none was more iconic than an RX-7. This is the third generation Infiniti RX-7 introduced in 1991. It is often referred to as the FD, a nod to its chassis code. With its wide-body and tires, the globally positioned FD was never constrained by Japan's strict size regulations. Like the model before it, it runs on a 13B rotary engine, this time paired with a sequential The 1990s mark a golden era for Japanese sports car, and perhaps none was more iconic than an RX-7. This is the third generation Infiniti RX-7 introduced in 1991. It is often referred to as the FD, a nod to its chassis code. With its wide body and tires, the globally positioned FD was never constrained by Japan's strict size regulations. Like the model before it, it runs on a 13B rotary engine, this time paired with a sequential twin turbo producing 251.5 horsepower. Equipped with a fine-tuned double wishbone suspension system, the FD weighs 2,778 pounds and boasts a 11 lbs/HP ratio. At launch, the most focused variant, the Type R, features shorter gearing and suspension tuned for sharper acceleration. A breathtaking machine that seems untouched by time, the FD stands as a rotary sports car legend for the history books. See that, folks? This is the perfect all-time JDM sports car, has been introduced in the early 1990s. But sign me up on this one, so I had to go purchase by both of them and have the FD RX-7 Infiniti Type R will go register to the car index. So here we go, viewers, and this car is the perfect all-time JDM sports car for us, as I'm about to take a good look by having an inspection check by visiting to the GT Auto. But however, if I had to be purchased the third one, so this had to go for a first car collection to be registered to the index and have both cars before heading out to the brand central, and this is going to be the only best exclusive vehicle to be take part in Japanese Clubman Cup 550 with this original RX-7 FD model. For example, the competition Yellow Micra to be inspired by Keisuke's Takahashi RX-7 from Initial D, as first stage and fourth stage with some different set of customization options for the original and A-Spec touring version. But however, Other kinds of replica-based variation to be serving as race modification from Gran Turismo 1 and Gran Turismo 2 along with Emblem Edition as well. And one other variation to have the perfect example as you may ever seen the cover from Auto Model Lisa from Capcom. Whenever you're welcome to, just express yourself and make your own kind of a livery design variation for the Mazda Infiniti RX-7 Type R FD 1991. So let's just go to Brand Central and heading up to America by having a good look on the Chevrolet section to have a nice good detail for the 1969 race modification of the Chevrolet Camaro. But it comes in to have a high expensive that costs with $1.5 million without taking part of the power pack. But take a good look, you guys. This muscle car has been fully modified to becoming as a professionally tuned. But it doesn't show a number of displacement to have this B8 engine that has a drivetrain layout to go for a front engine, rear-wheel drive, and produces in 657 horsepower / 6500 RPM. The max torque is 323.64 lb / 3500 RPM. The length in 186 inches, the width in 74 inches, and for the height is 51.6 inches. The aspiration is supercharger to have this muscle car to go pack up the weight in 2,910 pounds. The base of performance point to go station in 672.59. 5 colors available, but it doesn't show us the name as well. But I know the 5 colors. This one is the yellow with black side stripe, turquoise with white side stripe, brown with the same white stripe, gray with black side stripe, and the white with orange-red side stripe. Interesting, but I'll have to give this a go and choose this main base color to have the yellow with black side stripe and learn more of the details to see this fully tuned modification of the 1969 Chevrolet Camaro. The Chevrolet Camaro is one of the most iconic American cars. Its first-gen model from 1966 commands near mythic respect. This example is a restomod pairing the spirit of the original with modern high-performance upgrades. In terms of presence, this is an intimidating machine. Built low to the ground, it wears aggressive aero components. The wide mount front bumper enhanced cooling, while the chrome trim is blacked out and carbon clad. Under the hood sits a supercharged V8 producing 657.8 HP of power, making it a formidable hot rod. Its roll cage interior houses a sequential gearbox and Alcantara bucket seats with a refined edge. With its blend of classic style and cutting-edge tech, this is a special Camaro built to compete in any era. Sweet! This muscle car to be fully restomod and perhaps any kinds of customization options without using a wide-body modification, but it's been built and becoming as a professional tuned car ever since the becoming as a main race modification successor for the 1969 Chevrolet Camaro from Gran Turismo 5 and Gran Turismo 6. But this one is the modern day retro muscle car to have this different version has been packed up and go designed to have the main expensive to go for 1.5 million Gran Turismo credits. Its rims has been turns out to be going sharp fine and quite beautiful out there to see this good track day muscle car to go pack up and redefine to have this cutting edge modern technology. But sign me up at this rate and purchase it to go available to have car index number 2 to be registered and have this race mod version for the Camaro by having a good look on inspection check number 2 on GT Auto. So there you go. 1,500 collector points has been going on the update and almost there to be reaching up by 30,000 collector points by over a million. I hope you muscle car fans are happy about this good retro mod Camaro, fully modified and get set on the track awaits us and is about to go professional tuned to go down to have a nice different set of customization to be heading off to the GT Auto on inspection number 2, in addition to be changed up the light covers when using a delivery editor to have the units will be replaced with a LED. But got to admit, this one is a true Trans Am hero legend from the 1960s to be serving up to have the original model of the Chevrolet Camaro Z28. Let's have a look on Renault, you guys. Showroom awaits us, and here it is for the introduction. To be listed by brand new is the 2021 Renault Captur S Edition. Much more similar than the Peugeot 2008 SUV Allure with the same year model, but it comes in to have the main base performance point by having a comfort tires to go in 373.48 performance point that has a 1.4 liters of displacement is 1332cc. The layout of the drivetrain is a front-wheel drive that produces in 138 horsepower / 4500 RPM. The max torque is 191.64 lb / 1700 RPM. The length is 166.4 inches, along with a width in 70.7 inches. The height is 62 inches, followed by inner weight in 2,720 pounds. For the aspiration is go for the turbocharger. Much more similar to have this different kind of a crossover SUV to be designed from France, but however, this vehicle appears in the game to be designed as a British model that serves to be using as a right-hand drive, but with units set to use metric speed unit to go for kilometers per hour, which is configurable from the car settings, although this Renault Captur was also sold in Japan as a right-hand drive car. Only available with the automatic transmission in that market, and this one in a game that features to have a manual transmission. Anyway, 9 colors available to have few of them in full black trim and have the one color in white trim as well. This one is a desert orange, flame red, iron blue, celadon blue, Boston blue, diamond black, oyster gray, highland gray, and arctic white. Okay, which one should I have to start out to have my own pick? But maybe I have to go and choose this desert orange to have the best one example and learn more of the details that cost with 30,000 Gran Turismo credits. Renault is best known for its compact cars, but its technical prowess extends even to its SUVs. This was nowhere more evident than in the Renault Captur, the perfect marriage of compact style and SUV strength. Here is the second generation model from 2019, easily recognizable by its C-shaped signature lighting. Available with gasoline, diesel, and mild hybrid engines, the range introduced Renault's first plug-in hybrid model. Renault hybrids were built with F1 tested technology, meaning they were fast and operate on parallel control. Inside, the Captur featured a floating center console with a 7-inch display and smartphone connectivity. Boasting comfort and convenience and compact package, the Captur was a small but mighty hero of everyday life. Okay then. This Captur S Edition turns out to be introduced from 2019 to have some changes before being serving up as a facelift model in 2021. Same goes to the Peugeot 2008 SUV Allure, but this one should do the everyday hero for only one front-wheel drive crossover SUV to have the dirt collection to be added to the index. Welcome aboard Renault Captur S Edition 2021. Good to have you on the GT7 team, and their vehicle has been obtained by having a collector points in 30 and go up by almost in 29,734 points by over $1 million. So I got all 3 cars for the update, viewers. One SUV, a restomod race modification Chevrolet Camaro Z28 1969, and the all-time JDM Sports car from the used car dealership for the 1991 Mazda RX-7. Alright, time for me to go to the GT Cafe, and I'll have to take a stop by having a look on the brand new seasonal menu. Will be listed to go down on 3-car collection by the request. So it's been a while since last month update from January after collecting with some 3 cars, including with the Xiaomi SU7 Ultra 2025. The next 3 cars on the seasonal menu, just perfect, only have one Infiniti RX-7 Type R FD 1991 from Mazda, Captur S Edition 2021 from Renault, and Camaro 1969 race mod from Chevrolet. Has got everything collected, acquired, and received a 5-star roulette ticket to go available in about 16 days left to go until March 29, 2026. Gonna have to do it right now. And here it is, where only one 5-star roulette ticket has been collected and stored into the GT garage. Just what I need, and that's why collecting 3 cars for this update is all about to have one best all-time JDM sports car, followed by with a European crossover SUV, and a track-focused Trans-Am American muscle car has got the pattern of the main course. Will go for the brand new set of the recipe. And for the perhaps, Stella is already here on the cafe. Just have a conversation and have a discussion about the 1991 Mazda Infiniti RX-7 Type R FD model. The Mazda RX-7 stands among the most celebrated rotary engine sports car ever built. This is the 3rd generation model from 1991, also known as the FD. It notably carried the name and emblem of Mazda's former luxury division, Infiniti. The FD RX-7 is a lightweight yet potent machine. Press the accelerator and you immediately feel the smooth surging power of its rotary engine. Its slow, wide stance becomes unmistakable the moment you sit behind the wheel. From the outside, it remains a thing of beauty and a legend in the story of Mazda performance. See that, viewers? This is where the story of the 3rd generation Mazda RX-7 as an FD model comes in the early 1990s. Starts out to have a chapter of its own beginning. From 1991 to 2002 as a Spirit R Type A, this original RX-7 is the perfect kind of the JDM sports car. Has been designed in motorsports, and all kinds of customization options to have the tuner aftermarket brand is RE Amiria. So let's have the Renault Captur Edition 2021 to be next on the list, and then Jeremy for the Chevrolet Camaro Z28 1969 race mod, as I just have to take one errand at a time to be switching things up on different vehicles for this main feature part of the segment. Okay, I know this is going to be having a conversation with some 3 cars. Will take some time before heading up to the GT Auto. So I got the Renault Captur S Edition 2021 and have Stella again for another batch of the conversation to see how it goes. Ah yes, the 2nd generation Renault Captur. The C-shaped motif in the front and rear lights is a signature element of Renault design. Not only does this crossover look sharp, it drives with confidence. It's easy to see why it became a best-selling compact SUV across the European markets. The original Captur outsold its compact SUV rivals in European markets year after year. And this 2nd generation model, introduced in 2019, proved just as popular. Proved to be popular around in Europe. Well, viewers, I know how you really think about this 2nd generation Captur S. It's the best signature for a crossover SUV, along with the Pescia 2008 Allure SUV to have the same year model in 2021. But perhaps it turns out to have my good appraisal to have a conversation with Stella. This good 2nd version model turns out to have the C-shaped headlights, and taillight itself has been formed out to have the most impressive popularity across in Europe. But got to admit, different kinds of European crossover SUV has become much more popular ever since they have the age of crossover SUV by around in 2000s. But we're in the 2020s, by the way. It turns out to go for a C-sharp and have this one to go for the reserve participation in Dragon Trail Gardens in reverse direction on European Sunny Cup 400. Can't wait to try this fancy crossover SUV in front wheel drive to go for a spin. And let's have Jeremy when I was about to be using for the 1969 Chevrolet Camaro race mod version. Let's just say for all muscle fans enthusiasts like you, and that will might need to have the 3rd discussion by having Jeremy when visiting to the GT Cafe to go down to have the inspiration, and have the short stories about the Camaro race mod version has been designed to becoming as a true Trans-Am version. But one thing perhaps, as you may ever think about a different version to go for a full-on stock car since the age of NASCAR by the early and late 1960s. This 1969 Camaro race mod is classic on the outside and truly modern beneath the skin. In other words, it captured the true spirit of the properly executed retro mod. It draws inspiration from the legendary Camaro Z28 built to compete in the Trans Am series of the late 1960s. Here, the Z28 returns as a bespoke custom creation courtesy of Gran Turismo. Set to lower the pavement, it wears a revised bumper and array of aggressive aero components. At the rear, a pronounced ducktail spoiler pairs with a center exit exhaust. Under the hood sits a formidable supercharged V8. Now it's time to see what it can do. Well, I can't wait to try it out because this retro mod version of the Camaro turns out to become the beast and spiritual resemblance as a 1969 Trans Am race version, but hopefully other Gran Turismo players, including muscle car enthusiasts, to have this one to be packed up and get designed to have a nice exterior parts to be modified and have the wing spoiler. Will give it a look to have the first one before heading up to GT Auto. If you might need to have the drawing board to go plant yourself to have some American racetracks to go for a full preparation on custom race. It looks so nice and built to be fictional, to be original by Gran Turismo, to have this supercharged V8 to be driving like a beast. But you know, it gets much better to have some custom parts by having a good look and just have to get down to have the front, side, rear, and wing option available. Just have the wingless wheel cost with 500 credits, and take a good look at guys. Type A option turns out to have the first steps to becoming as a true Trans Am race car for this 1969 race mod version of the Chevrolet Camaro Z28. But there's something else much more better, and here it is for the Type B option by having both of them wheel costs with 4,500 Gran Turismo credits available. Looks so nice, beautiful, and quite good old-fashioned American muscle car to be packed up to have this Trans Am version to go racing on the course. But not to mention, just I had to take this main part to go remove as Type A to cost with 7,000 Gran Turismo credits, but feel welcome to. But this main part comes in as well to have the removable part and have Type A to be purchased to go for replacement. Just only had to take one part removed on Type A on 6,000 GT credits. But one thing perhaps, just have Type A option that costs with 15,000 GT credits, and have the Type B option comes in with the same price as well. Okay, looks like this looks so very nice and pretty more interesting to see this good track focused muscle car to be well outfit. And one thing perhaps on the front really, have one part added in Type A, and there's going to be a surprise in Type B by putting up on the hood replacement, but both of them may cost with 5,000 Gran Turismo credits, and here it is right now by putting up in the carbon fiber. Very neat and quite very awesome to see this Type B option to be adding up on the Type A really. Got to admit, it turns out nice and quite good smoothly to have this professional tuned muscle car to see how it turns out. And plus for the light bulb, whenever you might need to go jazz up on number of options that cost with 150 Gran Turismo credits, let's have a good look on Livery Editor, shall we? So first, let's go to the race option and have any precision by using the camera by zooming in, and have a look on the light cover on Type A by starting out in default, and this one to go for replacement customization as Type B. See that? It turns out to be fully customized to have this light cover to be placed up here as well, and have the Type A option to go placement by default. I know you guys like it. If you might need to have your own decision by choice to go with Type A or Type B option, because the choice is yours if you might need to plant yourself to make your own kind of a livery design variation on the 1969 Chevrolet Camaro race mod. But I don't have time for making my own UDRS Inspirtech Racing livery at this moment, viewers. Just had to make sure to have some 3 cars on customization inspection, but good on the appraisal to have a good 5-star rating on the race mod version for the 1969 Chevrolet Camaro. But hopefully, good thing I just bring out to have some more Mazda Infiniti RX-7 FD Type R 1991 comes in, and have the non-widebody version to have a good look on custom parts to be putting up on A-Spec version. But luckily, just wanted to bring out to have the second one to be prior to have the widebody modification that turns out to go for differences, and have the JDM Sports car to get down by the matching up on comparison. I know you guys are about to have yourself will embrace to have your hype level will have to blow your mind. Hope you guys are ready for it, and have a look on custom parts and bolt options in the front, side, rear, and wing available to have Type A options to be base inspired from the A-Spec Touring Kit version for the Mazdaspeed RX-7 Type R. Just look at this, viewers. This is quite very perfect to have this original RX-7 from 1991 that costs with 3,000 Gran Turismo credits. If you might need to have your own kind of yellow color, this one comes in, and best reserved to have this main Type A option for the front part, and have the Type B option comes in as well. Well, I kind of think to be based up from the standard part version to have this main Type B option, but however, I kind of like about this Type A option turns out to becoming 100% perfect. For instance, as the example, to have both options main part to be based up from the Mazdaspeed Touring Kit to have Type A on the side skirts that costs with 2,500 Gran Turismo credit, and this one perhaps might have to be comes in as well to be putting up on Type B option. On the rear, Type A and B option available that costs with 3,000 Gran Turismo credits, and this one for the main example to be based up to have another part from the Mazdaspeed A-Spec Touring Kit, and the other one comes in as well to have a different part to go for the main listed of the aftermarket brand. But not to mention, we're having both different wing options in Type A and B available by cost with 2,500 Gran Turismo credits, and this main part to be based up from the 2002 Mazda RX-7 Spirit R Type A. Just wonderful, perfect, and I kind of like about this main base option for the 1991 Infiniti RX-7 Type R for the same FD platform. But this Type B option, I never seen this one before, but however, different kind of the wing options since Gran Turismo 5 and Gran Turismo 6. But this part in GT7 turns out very nicely, and have this Type B options to go fully tuned and have the increase of the downforce if you might need to have your own custom wing set to go for extra on dressing up to have a set of sizes. Just sweet, amazing, and have some more details on different options to have the front grille to have the Mazda emblem badge to be removed as Type A that costs with 1,500 Gran Turismo credits. As same goes to the license plate to have both options available with Type A by the front and rear only, and have the European license plate to be placed in on the front, and have the different placement to go for the rear only. Light bulb comes in, and just have to go jazz up to have a number of colors, especially with the super cool comes in as well by 150 Gran Turismo credits. Racing parts just have the hood pin and roll cages whenever you might need to jazz up your own style. But remarkable, and it turns out very impressive to have this all-time JDM sports car to be serving up as a non-widebody version. We are so happy, viewers, and I am very happy too. But I'm talking about the A-Spec Touring version on the Type A options when using for this 1991 Mazda RX-7 turns out greatly, and they will be having one different customization to have this one to be planned and go proceed into the wide body customization to be fully modified. But speaking of which, it would be more awesome to have this GTC version for the same Infiniti RX-7 to go full in LM edition to be based up to have some wide body version to go fully modified. With the addition to have a swap engine that costs with 1,750,000 Gran Turismo credit, but you know about the rotary engine to have the Mazda 787B engine comes in, and have this main engine model by the original by 13B-REW-RX7 Type 1. The engine type has the 2 rotors, comes in and have the increased horsepower by the main default when swapping up the engine into 690 horsepower and have a displacement to go increase into 654 times 4. Aspiration from turbocharged to go for a naturally aspirated, changes on the max torque to go increase on 448.4 and weight to power ratio in 1.82. But it only costs for the wide body modification that costs with 25,000 Gran Turismo credits, and this one to go down by the preview to have the installation by before in the left side and have the right side after fitting the wide body. But it turns out a bit more different, but perhaps I might have to give it a go, and good thing putting up to have the second Infiniti RX-7 Type R FD 1991 to be set and planned by Prior to go for a different set of customization by purchase up, and let's see how it goes, change up the magic. Now I'll have to sit back for a few seconds, wait for it, and here you go by having a work complete. But it looks the same, and have the fenders will go increase to have a number of engines to have yourself to go fully tuned on GTC race car to have this different version to go serving up as an element edition from Gran Turismo 2. And it looks the same alright, just only have the fenders to go fully modified and have some changes for the front, side, and rear custom parts will go on the effect. And it will be more awesome to see some different parts when having a wide body version for the Infiniti RX-7 Type R FD. So here it is, you guys. By having one part available in Type A is quite good to be amazing, and it costs with 3,000 Gran Turismo credits to get this exterior parts, comes in and have the Inspired to be serving up as a GTC/Emblem edition since GT2. But very nice, and there's more to that. And there's going to be more extra surprise to have the wide body version. Just only have 3 parts on the front, side, and rear by Type A available. And here it is, you guys. This Type A part that costs with 3,000 Gran Turismo credit, along with the rear part, comes in to have this part. Turns out amazing and quite good real going racing nostalgia to have the elements when putting up to have this wide body version to go set on the course. But one part to be adding up on the side skirts, just only have 2,500 Gran Turismo credits, and it is so beautiful, amazing, and have other kinds of different options when you might need to have your own kind of a wing set. Just have to go in Type B and have the rear parts along with the side and front part to go cost up to have the best customization example to go fully tuned as an L1 race car. So here we go. This main base customization is all about to have the best work for only one original RX-7 to have the wide body version. But one thing perhaps, just have the badge removed on the front grille and have the license plate turns out to go for Type A/rear only. See that, folks? This customization example is the best one ever yet to have the wide body version for the 1991 Infiniti RX-7 Type R by Mazda. So that's it for car inspection number 2 to have the non-wide body and this wide body version, and it turns out very great and quite good to be on the nostalgia for the road going Japanese sports car to be bringing to the track. I will go for it someday in Japanese Clubman Cup 550 along with World Touring Car 600 and 700 for Group 4 race car to have some parts will be embraced to have the substitute to go for the rotary sports car as the main part for the temporary Group 4 category. So next up and last, I'll have to take a look and go down by the inspection custom part options when using the Renault Captur S Edition 2021. For another kind of a crossover SUV to have a European market to have the preview to go down on the custom parts, just have one part in the front options to be purchased with 2,000 Gran Turismo credit to get this Type A option. But however, it maybe turns out to go for a different effect to have the standard parts to go for a free replacement, and this one comes in to have the different changes to go increase on the downforce. As for the side comes in and have one part adding up in Type A that costs with 1,500 Gran Turismo credits, In addition, they have a Type A options to go placement as well. Same goes to the crossover SUV like the Mazda CX-30 at Smart Edition 2021 and the Porsche 2008 Allure SUV. With this Type A option, the badge itself has been removed and the rear windshield wipers comes in to have the effect to go change up and purchase with 2000 Gran Turismo credit and have one part to go placement here on the Type A option. See that? Comes in to have the Type A option to have the badge and rear windshield wipers has been removed and have the Type A options to go place and well equipped. Now onto the wing option. It comes in to have the wingless that costs with 500 Gran Turismo credits along with Type A and B option available that comes in to have a different price to go on 2000. But whenever you like to have your own pick, and it will jazz up to have your different kind of a crossover SUV to be packed up to the limit and get situated to have some other kinds of parts and racing items. But no available on the front grille, just only have the light bulb, license plate, and the brakes if you might need to go for equip on the racing category along with the racing items that have the hood pin and the tow hook. See that part open, viewers? Type A and B option that costs with 120 Gran Turismo credit along with the rear part just comes in and have the other part to be placed up right over here to have main part to go pop up the opened. But there's going to be much more unexpected when having a good look on the hood pin. But I mean, wow! The camera just actually zoom out at least. Just have to try a bit more closer as we might need to be get down to have a good look on inspection check for the Type A and B option. Well, didn't see that one coming, viewers. But anyway, I'll have to move on. And that's it for only third car inspection for the 2021 Renault Captur S Edition. It's a good kind of a French crossover SUV and as the main rival for the Porsche 2008 SUV Allure. And this will get down by having a custom race by featuring with two French crossover SUV in front wheel drive layout along with a brand new lap time challenge awaits us by heading over to High Speed Ring by using the 1969 Chevrolet Camaro race mod along with a Mazda Infiniti RX-7 Type R FD 1991. Time for us for a racing lesson to have a demonstration for all experts and new Gran Turismo players like you. Will get down on the way. So let's go to the Big Sur Highway 1 coast in state of California. Grand Valley awaits us and South layout go entered on circuit experience by using the Mines BNR 34 Skyline GTR is about to be set to go for a lesson of demonstration to have 3 sectors and a 1 lap attack after graduate from Highway 1 when using the Nissan GTR Nismo GT3 2018. The same price comes in as well, just only have all gold by 1 million and all bronze will go down in 200,000 Gran Turismo credits. This will have to get quicker soon, viewers. I'm all set and have ourselves with 3 sectors by around in a few seconds to have the first one in 18 seconds, followed by in sector 2 by 27 seconds, and the third one comes in as well to have over 30 seconds, and a single lap attack to go carry over by 1 minute and 13 seconds whenever it takes to have this professional tune car to be on the main effort on the demonstration after the 2018 GTR Nismo GT3 on full course. So here are the 3 sectors right now to go for the lineup in order to have a good eyes on a gold record and plus a 1 lap attack by a minute 13.2 seconds. Alright, here we go. First up, demonstration to have the first and second turn corner by around in 18.6 seconds, so you might need to find your line, get skill, and have the effort will be mastered to have the all-wheel drive layout to have this professional tune car to go pack up to the limit before proceed in the second sector. So here goes the rolling start by coming out the tunnel. Warm-up begins in 3, 2, 1, and we're off. Starting out the line and have the right side position to go aim at the inside by have the first turn clear and pull out the brake. Just have to keep it nice and neat and expect the lookout to have a good placement by coming around in turn 2 by enter the bridge. Okay, pretty quick and very easy, alright. just only have 18.163 seconds, and have a look on the replay by take the exit to go for the review. With this example on the replay, just have a look on the main part of the scene to have the full straightaway after coming out at the tunnel to go for a first sector on only once you're about to have turn 1 to go in, pulling out the brake, and aim at the inside position to come around on turn 2 to keep it nice and tight and have the inside curve up by into the bridge. With this lesson, it's all about to have the short second by around in 18 seconds if you're about to go par at it to have a 17 seconds to have your best effort to go reaching up on the gold level. And that's why, viewers, this main content replay has been saved, and there you go right now before moving on in the second sector to have the next target time ejected on the goal in 27.9 seconds. After clear from the first sector, you have to dive down below to have turn 3 followed by with turn 4, 5, and 6, and then this will have to get sharp turns to get closer on turn 7 and turn 8 until you'll be on your way to be proceed on the third sector. I'm ready for it. Time to go downhill in sector 2 for 3 seconds after the rolling start on the second turn corner to go elevate and watch the line carefully to get down on the main slope. Here comes the ghost lap. Just have to go quickly as possible to have the inside position and be on the lookout. It's going to get a little bit challenging and be tough enough to go hard as nails. Okay, turn 7 to go clear and watch on the inside. Full stretch coming up and have a short amount of the RPM soon. Okay, looks like close call for comfort and made it on time for the gold record by 27.737 seconds for only one attempt. Finally congratulate myself to be cleared on sector 2, and let's have the second check on the replay to go for the major look. But I tell you, viewers, it may be quite challenging to have the south variation layout on Grand Valley. Is all about to have the differences to be based off from the east session. Only in GT7, the south session has now been going down the hill to have some series of slight turns and the slopes, just to have this main complex corners to go for elevate on exercise caution to avoid the contact. Once you're about to go clear on turn 7 to 8, have this one to go full stretch at the RPM on the middle session until cross the line to have the main clear record by around in 27 seconds. So you see, folks, it's not that hard or easy, but I'll have to give a difficulty type to be placed on the medium. But good thing that I just already saved a content replay earlier to go for the heads up notice, just in case to help myself by proceed to go in the third sector by 2 more to go, and have sector 3 will be proceed to take the next target time ejected in 34.7 seconds. See, folks, the next lesson on the course map, once you're about to go clear on turn 8, you have to take that curve straightaway by moving on in turn number 9 along with turn 10, turn 11, and have the final corner on turn 12 by going inside the tunnel. So you might have to do it quickly and have that gold record to have the skills will be follow the line to be serving up to have the curb stones to be pretend as an apex. I must go for it and have the rolling start in about 3-second countdown to have the best formation after turn 8, as the curve straightaway will go change up the different lanes on position. Here comes the 9th turn and have the ghost lap comes in and keep it nice and slow, will go full respawn handling. So you might have to do this quickly because this tune car is pretty heavy and fast, and go right on the inside to take the final turn to go curb up and get situated to have the full stretch to have yourself to go on different lanes. See that? Full stretch comes in, and there you have it by having a gold record as I took by 34.503 seconds. Amazing. Sector 3 has been all clear, and take a look on the third replay to go down for the matching up the effort on the base of professional tune performance. Same goes on sector 2 to have the main difficulty type to be placed on medium, but perhaps just have the brake zone to come in right here and have the inside position to go on the road and have turn 10 to go placement in the left turn position as well. until you're about to go proceed on turn 11 and have the inside tunnel. Just have to go rev up a little bit and have the headlights will be turned on by display once you're about to be entered by around in turn 12. Coming out of the tunnel and take that full stretch, comes in and cross the line to have the best placement to go clear before moving on to take one lap attack for the final lesson. So there we go. Just have the dirt content replay saved, and I'm about to go for it. This lesson is all about to have 12 turns in Grand Valley South to be on the main reimagined version of the Grand Valley East session to have the main course to go in forward. I'm ready to go, viewers. Let the final lesson begin in 3, 2, 1, and we're off. Faster rolling start kicks in, and first lap coming up to take the first turn to keep it nice and work up with the handling to be pulling out the brake. Just have turn 2 to come right here. Aim at the inside, going into the bridge, and have the ghost lap will be able to back you up as well. Just have the third turn corner to come right in, dive down below to have the fourth turn to keep it nice, and will elevate by proceed in the second sector to go deal with turn 5 and 6. So be very extra careful once you're about to go clear and commit at turn 7 and 8. Keep it nice and respond for the RPM when dealing with the handling until the main curve straightaway that comes right in and change up to have a different lane position by pulling out the brake once you're about to go entered on turn 9. It's about to get heavy on turn 10, so don't slow down, just try to keep up at this rate. Okay, very nice on turn 11, just have to go work up with the RPM, have the inside tunnel to go full speed amp up on turn 12. Come on, I can make it. This is gonna get challenging, alright. And here comes a single lap by the gold record to be graduate and ends up right here by 1 minute 12.396 seconds to be cleared for the gold lap attack. That's more like it. Just like Grand Valley Highway 1 and the South layout has been cleared to go for a truly owned the course to be finishing up on circuit experience. So let's have ourselves for the final replay for this demonstration, and my current record turns out to have a solid gold baby moment to see the mine's BNR 34 Skyline GTR M1 base has been successfully to go for a basic demonstration, just like Circuit D Sainte-Croix on the A course when using the Renault East Base F1 1995. But very nice to have the first and second turn corner that comes in when entered at the first sector to take the first lap again and dive down below to go elevate to have turn 3 and 4 once you're about to go clear to have the first sector. So you might have to step up and get clear out there to have an exercise caution when you're entered on sector 2 to have the next turns just like turn 5 and 6, turn 7 and 8, and have that curved straightaway. We'll go reinforce it to be switch things up to have a different lane position once you're about to come in on turn 9. See that? This is how the strategy to go for basic proving grounds to see this mine's BNR 34 Skyline GTR M1 base has been turned out correctly, and the skill itself just to have the final turn to go inside the tunnel at turn 12. And that's how mastering the Grand Valley South just like the Highway 1 full course, and there you have it for only one full stretch to cross the line. Successful, and I'll have to keep this main replay for a while, and very well done to see the successful for only 3 sectors and 1 lap attack around in Grand Valley South to have everything to be cleared to go for only one best effort on the goal. Time to go exit and have a double up earning by 48,000 Gran Turismo credits, and here it is right now by acquired by 1.2 million to be earned in all bronze and earn all gold. But someday we'll have to wait and see and be patient for next month's update if there will be another race course to be adding up as well for circuit experience. But coming out on this one, and this will be proceed to go for the next one to be trying out with some 3 cars. So nice to see some new races available to have a progress to have each of them in European Sunday Cup 400 on 88%, Japanese Clubman Cup 550 and 87%, also for American Clubman Cup 700 has been went down as well to be placed up here in 88%. And one thing perhaps for the World Touring Car 800 after finishing up from Mount Panorama Motor Racing Circuit as race number 18, number 19 comes up to have the progress to go place here on 94%. Okay, let's have a look from Fuji International Speedway and all the other race courses, including Spa-Francorchamps in 24-hour layout, and this one comes in as well to be placed as number 19 to have Circuit Gilles Villeneuve is now been officially open. See that? The maximum reward has been placed up to go in 170,000 Gran Turismo credits, but this is what I've been waiting for only one good example practice to be prior to the custom race participation. Just have to take a look on American Clubman Cup 700. So the maximum reward has been placed up to go right here in 90,000 Gran Turismo credit, just like Tri Mountain Circuit to go for a flat lap challenge. But this one, 7 laps in Michelin Raceway, World Atlanta to be placed up here as well to have the 9th round of the event after finishing up from Autodromo de Interlagos. Very nice. And I kind of like the cover of the 1969 Chevrolet Camaro race mod to be shown in Michelin Raceway, World Atlanta, along with the Mazda Infiniti RX-7 Type R FD 1991. But good for the yellow Micra competition to be well seen on the cover to be take place at Kyoto Driving Park Yamagiwa Reverse for having a 3-lap challenge and have the maximum reward just like Osage Village Reverse to have the main procedure to go on race number 7 by the clear on signal and have the new one to go forward as race number 8. But not to mention, because of European Sunny Cup 400, brings out to have a showcase to have a good eye on the Renault Captur S Edition 2021. But the good news is, second week of March weekly challenges has already opened, and thank goodness I'll have to add it to my list and have myself to go for the next step by trying out with some 3 cars by using the Chevrolet Camaro 1969 race mod as I decided to go for the lap time challenge at High Speed Ring. I hope you guys did a good job out there for night time at Tokyo Expressway east counterclockwise for the Amuse S2000 GT1 Turbo. But made it on time as well, just have my current record to go for the update on the goal placement in a minute 57.301 seconds in position 9,576 place. Just when I need to have 2 million Gran Turismo credit to have the gold medal placement to be updated from the 139 to go into 140. Now, as I still might need to keep up to have the progress in order after I just took part from the Avila Cup 2026 presented by Sony Honda Mobility along with Sardinia Wheel Track A course layout in reverse direction by using the Subaru Impreza Sedan WRX STI 2004. But I'll have to do it right now. But take a look at guys. Salt Racing compound tires has now been eligible to be placed on the regulation and have the entry period has already opened from March 12 and ends until the 26th of this year for 2026. The target time is about to be placed to go in a minute 8.321 seconds, but count me out on this one, and this will bring out to have the Trans Am American muscle car for the 1969 Chevrolet Camaro race mod. But starters, the medium compound tires in sports category has been placed up to go on the default, but instead I'll have to go purchase and have the Salt Racing compound tires to be switched in and automatically to have the BOP regulation to go into high speed. There we go. Let's test this beast out to the track and go 6 turns on the corner. I know you guys are ready for it because this is going to be my first time ever to have this most impressive Trans Am Camaro race mod version yet, but still have the characteristic to have the elements of a professional tune car to be based up as the original race modification since GT5 and GT6. Still have the main one to be coming as the above successors to be designed and have the pack-up version to go for a fully fledged racing Trans Am American Camaro. But it will have to go for only one feature for the update before the race menu comes in, and have a look on the balance icon as you may ever seen this one before. See that? just look at the cursor to go right over here, and this is how it turns out to go for the introduction for this latest update by putting up with some changes. So to get started out, to have the first session and have the inside precision to go work up, and have the strategy to have a target time objective to come around by a minute 8.321 seconds. Is I have to push hard to go reach up on the gold record. I will begin and have a look on the inside to this interior view, and it looks so very nice to have some modern technology to go with some upgrades to have this classic Trans Am Camaro will go modern day on the track. Let's have it all I got to go for attention to detail and get skilled to have the first session coming up before the first lap will be coming in until the timer starts now. But got to admit, it turns out quite very impressive alright to see this Trans Am Camaro race mod version to have this dashboard that comes in to have the number of gears and show the top speed displayed by around in 180 miles per hour. So I had to go pull out the brake and look at the handling. Turns out to go smoothly to be embraced to have the line to go for a skill of reflex. But it still have a much more impressive B8 supercharger to go pack up to the limit, and it's still yet to go for a classification to have this one if you're about to be bringing it over to the custom race at Daytona International Speedway. Just have to give something for old-fashioned NASCAR racing should do just the only one good stock car for only a substitute for this matter. So it's coming in to have the 5th turn on the 3rd sector. Just have to take the 6th turn and abort the contact at the guardrail. Just keep it nice and work up to have the strong handling. We'll have to pull it together to have the 5th gear that comes right in and have the full stretch until the first lap to go clear, and lap time run by achieved in a minute 10.021 seconds. Well, as for starters, I just have to get warmed up and prove myself to go skilled for a Mazda car time attack to have some 6 turns in high speed range. But I tell you viewers, this lap time challenge is quite very amazing to have the featured debut for the Mazda car to be coming as a professional tune. But good thing, the GAC Ford Maverick has finally got itself a main rival for only one good Trans Am American Mazda car to be packed up to go for the debut on the track. Just let me handle this. It's quite very amazing, and this beast is quite becoming as a true monster. With sector 2 clear, almost there to go pack up and go clear on the 3rd sector. Just have the 6th turn to keep it nice and abort the contact, otherwise I might have to be reset to go for invalidate time. With its speed, it's quite going much more impressive to have the 6th gear transmission to go almost by 180 miles per hour. But I mean, it's quite very impressive, but it will have to go much more speed up to have a supercharger kit to go pack up as well until hitting up by 200 miles per hour. So here comes the 2nd turn. Let me have at it. Work well to get skill and have my current record to be updated by a minute 9.324 seconds. Just have the S turn comes in on turn 3. Almost there. But yes sirree viewers, you should rather try this Camaro out. It's becoming fully race mod and true Trans Am Mazda car to be packed up to go for a grade of racing competition to be prior to the online races. But I just had to get warmed up and finally get the hang of it, as I still might need to go catch up and go motion on a full forward throttle to have a commit on the line. But man, so far so close, because I just really might need to have the 6 turns to go work up to get skilled to be followed the line. 3rd lap clear. Now here comes the 4th lap on the reset, so I just have to go aim at the 1st turn. But it drives well to have a true beauty and aggressive to be driving as a brawn. But much yet clever. But this Camaro 1969 race mod is a true Trans Am professional tune car to be built and designed by Gran Turismo to have a good placement as part of the update. But there's no need to have one good exclusive vehicle by purchasing in the power pack. whenever you might need to have some 6 vehicles to go for a placement on exclusive. But this one anyway, it drives very well and pack up to go for a substitute to have a main version to go for a Trans Am and stock car whenever you might need to name it. So here it goes to go work up on a tougher commit on the final turn in number 6. Drive freely and have the gap distance to go station on monitor to have my current record to be pushed on the update for the same time in a minute and 9 seconds to go by .227. 5th lap coming up. I just have to go craving up for a time attack on the rush and have the second turn as I decide to try this again. Okay, almost there. That should do nicely, and work up to have the motion reflex to keep the handling by having a soft racing compound tires will do the trick. So I just finally come here at last, but not yet at least. Just have to be on the reminder as I still have some lap time challenges from the past as I still might need to keep working hard out there at least. So there it goes. Just have to go clear on second sector and have the third sector to go resume and try this again. Okay, beautiful. And have the gap distance to go follow through to have a 0.5 seconds. Almost there. And there you have it for only acquired target time objective by a minute, 8.719 seconds. But not yet. After finishing up on the 5th lap, this will go for a full overtime in the 6th lap, so I had to give it all I got, and this will have to take a free time session to go for a matter of intermission right after this. It's quite very amazing, alright. This Camaro drives well and born like a beast will bring out to have a pack-a-punch skill to be packed up to get skill to the test. If you're about to bring this one to go entered in Michelin Raceway World Atlanta, just have this one and bring out to have some few parts will be applied and get upgraded by a suggestion performance to go over by 700, or just have to be perhaps make your own planning to be on the main organized performance to be under by 700. Just like the original road-going version of the 1969 Chevrolet Camaro Z28, and this one is becoming as born as a Trans Am racing version to be designed in motorsports. But after all, both kinds of Camaro comes in to have some shapes, sizes, and one road-going muscle car, and have this professional tuned muscle car has been built, modified, and taken to the track. So I decided to go quick exit, and total time is I spent in 7 minutes 12.750 seconds for my best time to go right here in a minute 8.719 seconds in first session. And here's a 4-star roulette ticket for today's workout, and have a look on 3 sectors to be separate on the green distance highlight. For the first sector in lap number 5 along with sector 3 to have 27.727 seconds and 19.554 seconds as the perfect max speed to go up in 190 miles per hour. Awesome! I know you guys love about this track mod version for the Camaro, but hopefully it turns out to go for the eligibility to have yourself to go for the plan prior to this lap time challenge, and perhaps if there will be a 1-make category for the upcoming weekly challenges. But speaking of which, they will be having a mileage challenge to be featured for the Suzuki Jimny XC 2018. I'll be looking forward to. And you guys should rather treat this Chevrolet Camaro 1969 race mod with some true muscle car respect. That is why a professional tuned car to becoming as a strong resemblance as a Trans Am American car to be designed on the track and have myself to go for the appraisal will give a 10 out of 10. Does only have one car to be chosen, and it's going to get much more awesome if you might need to have yourself to go for organized planning to be placed on the online lobby, or in a custom race we'll bring out to have the old-fashioned spirit racing of NASCAR. So this one might be quite very impressive, alright, to have this lap time challenge to go for standard up in silver by comparison to top cars in 3.60% and position in 15,894 place. Just have to go moving on in the next car vehicle by trying out is the 1991 Mazda Infiniti RX-7 Type R FD model. So I'll have to stick around and stay in high speed range. We'll get down to have a normal time trial by using the world circuits and have one event settings to have the same effect on the BOP applied to see how it works. So let's try this, and going over on the car settings that I just purchased with some 3 sports compound tires early, and have the comfort sub will go update into sports sub compound tires by 493.78 performance point to go adjusted in 552.89. Calculate performance check, applied, and let's try the event settings to go for the BOP/tuning prohibited has been set to turn off as well. But let's try turn on instead and wait for it to have the regulations to be set, applied, and have the same horsepower and same weight has been checked to go for the effect on high speed track. But I tell you viewers, just like in the sport mode time trial event, this one has now been putting up the go in free time when using in the world circuits to have this icon to be appear by turning on. But other kinds of car settings, just to go into detail, if you have some certain parts such as the suspension, LSD, transmission, and various upgraded parts, including with the different versions to have the wide body version and swap engine as well. Well, it may be good, alright, if possible, feel welcome to. I just might need to help myself to go for a demonstration of example to have some few parts with or without a BOP applied when using time trial in world circuits. I will go out for a spin and listen to the sound of the rotary engine to be heading up to the track and have a second car test. We'll go hands-on impression. By having 1 year after the end production of the FC RX-7 from 1990 until 1 year later, the FD RX-7 comes in to have this best all-time JDM sports car to be entered for the golden age. The beauty, the chassis, the speed, and the sound of the engine has been brought together to have this Type R version for the Mazda Infiniti RX-7. So you see, other kinds of different variants just like the A-Spec version, Type RB, Type RC, and especially for the Touring X like this one, especially to have the Type R variant to go for the introduction to have some changes because of this interior view turns out to be quite enhanced and realistic to be used as a premium car treatment since Gran Turismo 5 and Gran Turismo 6. But however, the handling turns out to be becoming much more nostalgia, just like you've been playing from the original Gran Turismo game from PlayStation 1. See that? It still might need to have some element rules of the handling just to see how drifting can it go. But I still have the soft compound tires in sports category, still have enough grip, and have this pop-up headlights to go well seen by display when inside the tunnel. Okay, third sector coming up. Just have to go for a warm-up hands-on test and have it all in turn 6 to go for the middle section to be aimed at the inside to go follow the line. So beautiful, and have the right side formation to go for a full stretch at the end of the first lap, and time attack coming up to go enter by the second lap. Let's see how fast can it go, and have the 5th gear transmission to go up by almost 155 miles per hour. I know you guys really think about this RX-7 because this perfect JDM sports car is just for you. And here it comes on turn 2 by pulling out the brake. So close by getting closer to be reaching up by 160 miles per hour as I went down by the review check early to go mark on check by 158. So far so good. I kinda like about this sports car, this one is quite very nostalgia as finest. But as you may ever think about going out to do some drifting when you're using it on drift trial and time trial to have the full free time session, but feel welcome to. This sports car is I had to be planned myself to go for the first part to be wrapping up and have the second part to go for a classic GT1 race to go for some 6 JDM cars only. So I'll have to leave it to myself and going all clear to have the final stretch at the end of the 6th turn to go for finishing up at lap 2. Okay, there you go. Fastest lap time is 1 minute 22.747 seconds, and this will decide the call for a day to be exit at the end of the first session. Total time in 3 minutes 8.483 seconds, and have the review on check by 3 sectors to go review on the first one in lap 2 by 33.824 seconds, along with sector 2 in the first lap by 25.008. Hang on. Okay, 0.824 seconds, along with sector 2 in lap 1 at 25.008 seconds, and go back again in the third sector at lap 2 by 23.712 seconds. That's more like it, and let's have a replay to go for a short intermission and have a good eyes on this RX-7 to go quick capture up on the thumbnail image by the next part. See that, viewers? This looks so beautiful and quite good, clever on the beauty red to have this FD platform comes in to have this license plate. Just have to go quicker in, and there you go. Does only have phase 1 in time trial practice. Let's have myself and get my OCs. We'll be ready up to take the custom race to go into phase 2 and have the 6-car Japanese road car only. We'll bring out to have the old-fashioned Gran Turismo race ever since from GT1 and GT2. Better be ready for it, and this will be put myself to go for a next stage and see how the RX-7 can actually to be taking out with some Japanese cars by around in the 1990s. So I'm going in, viewers. Old school fashion race coming up. Take the full course and have the event settings just in case that I just got everything to go adding up to have a new fresh start after the old one just went down to go for the major reset. Now I'll have to have my OCs by calling out and have Henry Richards, my UDRS class sergeant, to go for the 1996 Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution 4 GSR, along with my beloved OC Lexia, as she decided to go for the Honda NSX Type R 1992, followed by with Henry's girlfriend Jenna in the Nissan Skyline GTR B-Spec R33 1997. One of my good men, Jerry Collins, as he decided to choose the Toyota Supra RC 1997, and the black girl herself is Tasha Starr in the yellow Toyota MR2 GTS 1997. The game's all here, everything is all set, and have the rubber car's difficulty to be placed in professional level, time of day to go in late morning, and variable time speed rate to be set in 0. So here I go, viewers. Let the second part by trying out with a Mazda Infiniti RX-7 Type R FD 1991, and awaits me is I have to be prep up myself to go for the main usual by using with a Sports Soft compound tires to be set, and have 6 Japanese road cars that have the spirit of the classic Gran Turismo racing since 1998 on arcade mode and spot race in simulation mode. Just have to go review on check and have the comfort soft tires will go back in sports soft. Okay, just what I need to have myself to go in 6th place, and my OCs will go line up in order to have the 1st through the 5th place drivers to have some different characteristics with Mitsubishi, Honda, Nissan, and Toyota, and have 1 reserved for the Mazda RX-7. Okay, let's do this, viewers. I'll have to take last place and rev up the engines in about 3-second countdown to go green light. But this will might need to bring out to have a good music as I had to go for a nice moment of classic racing in style. Let's see 5 of my OCs to go for a head start, and looks like Tasha in the yellow Toyota MR2 GTS to go faster up to be in the 1st position at the lead. Here comes the 1st turn. Going to go work up and have the nice aim at the inside to go exit in and drive well to go for the overtake progress as I have to be pressed on to go in 3rd place after Henry, Jenna, and Jerry with the Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution 4 GSR 1996, followed by with the Toyota Supra RC 1997 and the Nissan Skyline GTR B-Spec R33 as well. going in to take the 3rd position, and press on to go enter by turn 3 and 4 on sector 2. Okay, very nice. Just had myself to go in driving style to be worked up to have the nice line procedure to go clip up the apex and go straight forward to be inside the tunnel towards the 3rd sector comes in and have the 5th turn to go follow on the line. So you see, any kinds of Japanese sports car, just like the Mazda Infiniti RX-7 Type R FD, just like the RB Bathurst, to be well courtesy to be example when using it on the arcade mode by playing in GT1. This one is quite very amazing to have this one to be placed as a Type R version to go consideration as a Class A category. Just like old time's sake, and momentarily after finishing up to go on the 1st lap and heading up to take the final lap in number 2. Almost there to catch up on Tasha in 1st position to go clip up and dive on in to have the 1st turn to go all clear and have the full stretch will be coming up towards turn 2. So here comes the middle section to be worked up and have the driving style will keep it nice and neat. Okay, looks like 1st place in the lead for the Mazda Infiniti RX-7 Type R FD. So I just have to go work up in about 2 more sectors left to go and go right back in to take the S's onto turn 3 and turn 4. Looks like 5 of my OCs to have 2 of my guys and 3 of my girls, but looks like Lexia is trying to keep up with Tasha with her Honda NSX Type R 1991, but looks like Tasha still got this one to be in the main stage on upper hand advantage as I will take the final sector to go all clear in the final stretch on turn 6. So I must strap myself, viewers, right side on the track and go full forward as I will be prepared myself to go aim at the podium. And there goes the checker flag, and there you have it. That's only have phase 2 for the Mazda Infiniti RX-7 Type R FD, and there you have it. Old fashioned racing still got this one to have the best part ever yet. Now that's old school competition, viewers. Now that's old school competition to have some road going production cars to be placed in Class A category. Alright, let's have the results. Okay, let's have the results and have myself to go for a new set of the fastest lap record in lap number 2 is 1 minute 23.221 seconds by the total time in under 3 minutes as I ends up here in 2 minutes 58.708 seconds. Good race, guys, and very good race by receive a clean bonus by 28,500 Gran Turismo credits. Let's have a replay coming up. So I just went down to do some monitor of work in progress just to help myself to see this main part of the content video to go placement as I complete for my very own. But if possible, as I still might need to have some clips just to have one full segment video to have a tour for this latest update and have this racing part to go for the included replay. So see that? 5 of my OCs are heading up to take the 1st turn just like the main usual opponents since GT1 back from 1998. Just like old time's sake, and still have some usual road going strategy to see some Japanese production cars to go place and title in Class A category. Just only have myself by having a Mazda Infiniti RX-7 Type R FD 1991 to go in 3rd place after overtake with Henry with the Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution 4 GSR 1996 along with Jenna in the 1997 Nissan Skyline GTR B-Spec R33 and Jerry in the Toyota Supra RC 1997. The next part comes in to have the S-turns to go exit by turn 4 before coming up at the inside tunnel. Just have the headlights will go pop up in display. And thankfully, it brings up to have my commentary might need to be worked up and get settled in to have some minor changes just for myself as I still really might need to have this main part video to go for a settlement of preparation. But momentarily until now, but I still might need to keep work hard at this rate, and I just really might need to go shape up and get focused to make some more viewers to be understand because of my autism disability. So now, by finishing up at the end of the 1st lap, as I go really hard to catch up on Tasha Star in the Toyota MR2 GTS 1997 before the final lap comes in the second run. See that? Both pop-up headlights comes in and drive faster to see the FD RX-7 to take the lead. Still got a lot of handling and go out to have a nice JDM classic car in style. But let's just say, it's all about to have myself and my OCs will still might need to have the best preparation before coming up to have the new season for UDRS Inspirtech Racing Series. But I still got this one to be added to the list, as I just had to be planned down to go for the preparation to have some road going series along with some Group 4, Group 3, and some various participations to be take part to go for the Fanart GT3 parade with some various characters to go for the competition crossover. But I know, I just really think just relax myself and take a deep breath, as I still might need to have myself to go for the impression and discussion about the 3 new cars, including with the Mazda RX-7 Type R FD 1991. And here goes where the last part comes in, final stretch comes around, and clear in the first position to have it all. See that? 6 all-time Japanese road cars comes in, and very nicely as I go for a moment and capture the thumbnail image. So here it is right now to go zoom in on the view. Very nice. And have both cars with a midship on the behind in second, and have myself to go first place to have a front wheel drive sports car. So I hope you love it, viewers. This sports car for the Affinity RX-7 Type R, just like the Spirit R Type A for the same FD generation model. But I'll have to give it a 7-star rating and have 20 out of 10 for the best appraisal ever yet. Just like all kinds of other Japanese sports cars, but this original 3rd generation RX-7 is good to be back since all the previous Gran Turismo games except GT3 A-Spec and Gran Turismo Sport. So viewers, I know this is going to be a long time for myself, as I still might need to have one more car test to go before heading out to have another race in Argent Norwood. We'll bring out to have a 2v2 showdown to have a series of French crossover SUV. But that's right, viewers, as I'm about to go and bring out to have the 3rd vehicle, as I had to be chosen to go for the Renault Captur S Edition TCE 140 2021 to have my OC Henry Hardenick Richards will be joining me as well, along with the other 2, as I will bring out to have the invitation to go bring out to have some 2 Peugeot SUV 2008 Allure. And this time, after the main race by having 3 of my OC girls, including 2 of my boys, so I must move on, and the next race will bring out to have 3 of my UDRS boys, including myself, to have the matter to go for the experience on French crossover SUV in front wheel drive. It's gonna get nicer, alright. Daytime awaits, and car test number 3 will bring out to have the second round on concert race, such as have to get down to have the settings to be prepped earlier to take 3 laps, and have the number of cars will go settled by 4. As I welcome and introduce to my 2 upcoming OC is Shay Razorback and Denzel Carlton to be part of the UDRS team. So I'll have to let Hardenick to go for the UDRS Inspirtech livery on the 2021 Peugeot SUV 2008 Allure, while Shay will be selected to go for the full stock version, while me and Denzel tag along and have both Renault Captur S Edition TCE 140 2021. For the Renault Captur S Edition, that comes in to have a 1.4 liter of the inline 4 engine, and for the Peugeot SUV 2008 Allure, that has an inline 3 engine and displacement is 1.2 liters. By both of them, that has a turbocharged aspiration, and this will go very nicely to have both front wheel drive crossover SUV to be designed from France. Let's do this, and this will be it for only one more car test to go to have a good hands-on impression for the front wheel drive crossover SUV on the Renault Captur S Edition TCE 140. This is going to get nicer to have myself and 3 of my UDRS boys will go rolling start in formation to have a team colors to be stationed to go winning up in 1st and 2nd place. Just have to sit back and have the grid order. We'll go double up and have the best time to go cruising in, as I had to sit back and enjoy the ride for the countdown in 3 seconds to enjoy for the nice 2v2 crossover SUV to get down for the racing introduction. Let's see how it works, and go first turn on the brake zone comes in and have the handling for the Renault Captur S Edition TCE 140. So you see, this interior view is quite very more impressive to have this dashboard to be placed here on the right hand side, just like the same one goes to the Peugeot SUV 2008 Allure. By having both of them with a 6-speed transmission, and different balance comes in as well for the Renault Captur S that has the front position in the balance on 63% and the rear on 37%. And same goes to have the different balance position for the SUV 2008 Allure for Peugeot, 60% in the front and the rear on 40%. But got to admit, this is going to be nice and smoothly and go work up to have the main turbocharger to go pack up to the limit to be on the basic on warm up. But this will bring out to have the test, and just have to catch up to doing my UDRS boys by press on in the final sector in number 4 at the end of the first lap. So I have to get in there and wait until the final corner comes up, brake zone check, and pull well to go apply. Now, I know how you guys really think about trying out with some crossover SUV in GT7, but it's going to get more experience to see how it turns out to go for a detail on experience, just to have some reserve vehicles to go for the first time on the debut. But I just had to finally get the hang of it, so here comes the second lap, just have to go work up, and easy does it to have the second turn to go in hairpin 2. Moving on in third place, just have to go work up to have a nice monitor surveillance on the radar, dive down below, and fourth turn comes in and get cleared towards the end of the second sector. Come on, just have to go for it. Just might need to have more speed to go up, and next turn comes in to go on the inside to catch up to shade. That's the ticket. Moving on in second place, looks like Denso might need to keep it up. I'm almost there to catch up to Hardenig in about 0.8 seconds, as I had to get a good eyes on UDRS Inspotec livery for the Peugeot SUV 2008 Allure for the same U model from 2021. Okay, just have to go drive well and have the third gear transmission to go up by almost 80 miles per hour. Short second on the commit, and easy does it. Oh man, so far so close, and I just really might have to go for a short second aggressive as I'm getting closer to go finishing up at the second lap, and final lap comes in, and fastest lap time as I already took from the first one in a minute 28.757 seconds. It's gonna get challenging, alright. Looks like Shade moves on in second place. Come on Denso, just have to work it together. Don't start without it. I'm just getting warmed up and have a nice hands-on experience to see the Renault Captur S Edition TCE 190. There we go. He's on third place. Bummer. Looks like he's dropped down to be going back in. Side by side comes in, and they're about to go at it. I'm almost there to have 2 more sectors left, and it's going to be nicer to see the Captur S and 2008 Allure SUV crossover has been skilled to be planned prior to the upcoming special event. But we'll have to wait and see, and I know you guys really might need to think about it to have your own custom race to be featured with some bold crossover SUV and front wheel drive layout to have both of them in country of France. So here comes the final sector. I'm almost there to be reaching up towards the finish line to be placed up here in first place. Just have the final corner to go right here. Work up the understeer on the line. Get down and cross the line to have the final stretch shortly and have myself to be placed in the first. Okay, looks like this is very well done at least, but thank goodness. This race is going crossover 454 for a front wheel drive for a nice introduction to see the Peugeot SUV 2008 Allure versus the Renault Captur S Edition TCE 190. First place for myself, And looks like Hardwork just already did a good run out there to be finished in second. But after all, it's all about to have the test of introduction, but ends up with a total time by round in 4 minutes and 27 seconds to have a point decimal in 3:43 as I ends up to go for a new fastest lap record on car test number 3 to have the impression when using the Renault Captur S Edition 2021. Only a minute, 28.607 seconds, and that's it for only one good experience to try out with some 3 cars in this part of March 2026 update. It really does well nicely to have both crossover SUV to have some different performance to be designed for French, but I know you guys really think about it, so I just really have to go for the appraisal to have the Renault Captur S Edition TCE 140 will give 8 out of 5. Now I'll have to take a good look on the replay, just have to go for a short on intermission to have a nice place to come around to go for 3 lap on the duration. Just wait for the capture thumbnail image to be zoomed in, wait for it, but it might be quite actually matter to see which one is better. If you might have to go for the Renault Captur S Edition 2021 or the Peugeot SUV 2008 Allure. But the choice is yours, or why not have both instead, and it's gonna get much more nicer to have another kind of a crossover SUV to be added to the game, along with an all-time professional 2 muscle car, and the best JDM road car for the Mazda Infiniti RX-7 Type R FD 1991. I'm so glad that my UDRS boys did a good run out there, just only have a nice warm-up introduction for a 2B2 crossover SUV. But I bet Hardwork did a good run out there to be finishing up in second, while Shade has been dropped down to go in 4th place, along with my teammate Denso to go in 3rd. Just only have one racing warm-up is all I need, and hopefully I'll have to grab my UDRS boys to be entered to be joined in to be part of the UDRS Inspirtech Racing Series, along with the Fanart GT3 Parade to go for the opening season in Custom Race. So you wait and see, viewers. I'm just getting started out and have 3 cars to be everything well done to go experience by trying out, and let's head back to the GT garage to go for the car collection review on the index. Well, maybe no sign of Abu Dhabi for the future curation and escapes, but maybe next update perhaps, so I had to go down for the review on check to have some new cars available, and have the Renault Captur S Edition 2021 is the first one to go for the review on description. A formidable vehicle that blurred the boundaries of the compact SUV class. Just look over here, viewers, just at the pause right here, as I decide to go scroll down by a few seconds and have this one to go place here on the main pause. On the final sentence, agile handling and a stable ride were complemented by a well-finished interior and a cutting-edge infotainment system, providing comfort for both driver and passengers. Its elevating driving position made maneuvering easy, allowing drivers to transition from daily commuting to winding wheel roads with confidence and ease. As a result, the Captur emerged as a versatile all-rounder that pushed beyond the traditional boundaries of the compact SUV segment. Okay, I bet everybody might have to talk about it, because if you're a big all-time fan of crossover SUV, this vehicle is the best one ever yet, along with the Peugeot 2008 Allure SUV for the same model from 2021. Now, for the best all-time 1991 Mazda Infiniti RX-7 Type R FD model, the debut model of the 3rd generation RX-7, a car developed to be the ultimate sports car. Yes sirree, viewers, the FD3X RX-7 still becomes as the ultimate and legendary JDM sports car of the 1990s. Just look over here, viewers, on the last part of the sentence, the RX-7 could not meet the tightening environmental standards of the 21st century. In August 2002, the RX-7 Spirit R was released as a final commemorative model, closing the book on 25 years of RX-7 production. See that? It's all about history, and this RX-7 has become as the first ever original as a 3rd generation model. But hopefully, I bet everybody talks about the RX-7. It's going to get nicer to have the new version to be coming as a brand new RX-7 in the 21st century after years as the final version for the Spirit R Type A. But last but not least on the muscle car fans is the 1969 Chevrolet Camaro Z28 race mod. This is a retro mod of the classic Trans Am hero Camaro Z28. Built by Gran Turismo, based up to have an original 1969 of the Chevrolet Camaro Z28, but look over here on the final part of the description. The Spartan interior features a sequin title shifter, wheel cage, and Alcantara bucket seats behind these classical stylings. However, laid the true identity of a beast that brings with a supercharged V8 engine producing 657.8 HP. The ultimate modern trans-American race car rebuilt tradition through new technologies. Just only have one muscle car to have a homologation model to have ourselves to go fully tuned, modified, and have the classic muscle cars to go professional tuned to have the reserve party to go for only this Camaro race mod along with the GAC Maverick, Wicked Fabrication GT51, Mark 40 Mustang, and the CHC 1967 Chevy Nova will go plan and make your own kind of event to be placed here to go on the custom race. So you see, trying out with some 3 cars for the update with the Muscle Car Brawn, the JDM Nostalgia Legend, and the luxury compact crossover SUV is the beauty, just like the Renault Captur S Edition 2021. But I bet you guys are happy for it, and I'm always happy to be happy to have some 3 cars to go for the main part of the collection on this update. Well, maybe this is going to be quite good to be impressive, alright, to have some new events available, including WTC 800 at Circuit Gilles Bienvenu. As of right now, weekly challenges is still already here, and I'll have to get to it, and this one might have to be proceed to go forward to have some good thoughts, comments, and suggestions about some 3 cars for this main feature video on this update. But to me, the 1991 Mazda Infiniti RX-7 Type R FD to have the nice good set of a customization as using for the non-widebody version to have a nice Mazdaspeed A-Spec Kit. This is going to get nicer, and I still might have to go for an extra one as I purchased for the same FD RX-7 for the 1991 model to go purchase early to be planned and prior to have a widebody version. Just only have this one to be placed by Faber to be serving up to go for the A-Spec Touring Kit version, and have the second one to go wide car to be based and inspired by the GTC versions from Gran Turismo 2. But however, as I already purchased the second Renault Captur S Edition 2021 along with the Pescia 2008 Alert SUV, just myself to go for early preparation to have a nice 2B2 crossover SUV to help myself, and 3 of my UDRS boys will be racing up to go for the party up introduction to have a stage of the challenge. Okay, well, looks like I'll have to wrap this up, and then moving forward to take the second week of March weekly challenge awaits me as I will begin myself to have some 4 events and a brand new mission challenge to be based up from the original at the Nürburgring National Abbey by using the Bugatti Veyron 2013. But this time, a Suzuki Jimny XC 2018 to be comes in as well. Let's see how it goes, and drive well to get slow to have enough strategy to have enough best paces to go reach up the goal. So I had to do my best, and one thing perhaps about DreamArt Libre Style Dispenser, Season 2 Dispenser Camp characters to go for a remake and additional to have a new variation along with the fans as the new characters to go for a lineup on list, and have the favors to go for the additional batch of variation. One activity at a time, so I had to keep on working, stay hard, and my GT7 journey will be continuing on. So thank you for enjoying watching the video on Gran Turismo 7. I hope you enjoyed. Go subscribe to my YouTube channel for a like, comment, then click the bell for notification on upcoming content videos if you'd like to see. Follow me on DeviantArt, Instagram, Twitter, GT Planet, Patreon, Discord, and more other social media platforms. Plus, Membership is now open to everyone. We'll join in to get access per price levels a month with exclusive perks, custom emoji with my OCs, and many features to support the channel by becoming a member. It's the best way to help out with the super thanks as an extra will support and grow. And also check it out on my YouTube shorts that brings out with some presentation showcase like UDRS Inspirtech, Total Drama fan art, and dispenser can fan art liveries along with some various whenever you're welcome at any time. I'll be seeing you guys next time on Gran Turismo 7, and I look forward to see you again at the next current video. Keep on racing, stay clean.